Hi guys, Master Indigo here. As I promised earlier on my last video, I'll be doing the video from my out of frame and other videos, which focuses heavily on Berserker, Frenzy, Overkill, Aged and so on. So let's get into the skills, shall we? As you can see here, I'm just using Trip Mines, Heavy Ballistic Vest, Thanatos and Locomotive, and as a melee weapon I'm using the Ice Pick. Ice Pick mainly because the range, but you can use everything you want. It's pretty quick to just whap enemies in one shot. I like it. You can change the melee weapon if you want to. As a throwable we have Molotov Cocktail because, well, it's pretty much the best. Then let's take a look at the skills. On Mastermind 3 we have absolutely nothing. This is pretty much suitable for solo deathwish, so you aren't really that useful for your team. So at the leftover points I just took some C4 skills and drilling skills, so those can help your team a little bit, even though you don't have ammo or medic packs. Moving on to the Enforcer 3, we have quite a few skills here. We have Underdog, Aged for a little bit, damage bonus on the basic version, and reduction for the Aged version. I don't even know if it works, but it's just something to get higher on the tree. We also have Shotgun Impact, Aged, to get a little bit more damage with shotguns and some stability with shotguns. The stability that in itself isn't that useful, but the damage is always nice. Then we have Shotgun CQB for a little bit more reload speed, 15 and 35%. Then there's the increased steel sights zoom speed with shotguns, which is pretty much useless because I just hip fire all the time. Even though I still don't really find it necessary to take close by basic, because I usually just stand and shoot and so on. But if you wanna take 3 points out somewhere else, you could take close by basic and maybe even ace it if you want to shoot faster. But even without this close by skill, it's really fast enough for me, because it pretty much one-shots everything. Because of Overkill, we have Aged Overkill, so whenever you kill an enemy with a shotgun or assault, well, shotgun in this case, you will have the 20-second damage boost of 75%, which is massive, so that's the reason why you one-shot everything pretty much. And the Ace version allows you to use it on the primary weapon as well, which is Thanatos, and that allows us to kill bulldozers with one shot if we have the Overkill bonus active. On the tank tree on Enforcer we have Aged verse of Resilience for reducing the flashbangs, because those are still annoying as fuck. And armor recovery rate, that's always good, even though I don't know if we actually need it because of the perk deck we have, which is Anarchist. We also have Die Hard Aged for a little bit more armor for ballistic vests if you choose to have ballistic vests, and the 50% less damage while interacting is really nice. But as I already said, the armor I'm using isn't actually ballistic vest, or is it? Yes, it is heavy ballistic vest, but with this build you can actually pretty much choose whatever armor you want to have. I've been using heavy ballistic vest most of the time, and then we have the Die Hard makes the armor on that 20 higher. It's small but still something. Then we have basic version of Transporter. Aged version could be nice, but it's not that useful. The basic version is enough for this build. We have also Bullseye Aged, so whenever you headshot some enemies, you will regain your armor, so it's really hard for you to actually even break your armor. It will take quite a while to try to do that. Then we have basic version of Iron Man for 30% increase in armor. We don't have the Ace version because we don't use ICTV with this build, mostly just some medium armors. And with some extra points I also took Scavenger Ace, so little bit more ammo drops, and the pickup range is useful on some maps. Maybe ammo box is on other side of fence and you wouldn't reach it without this skill, so it's kinda useful. With this build you don't actually need any ammo bags most of the time. If you just kill people that are close to you and pick up their ammo, it's really nice. Moving on to Technician, as I already said, these are the team skills of this build. We have Hardware Expert Basic, so I make silent drills and so on. It's not really that useful, I just wanted to get the tier 2. Then we have Drill Sergeant Aged for increased speed or decreased time, however you wanna look at it. Then we have more Firepower Aged for more trip mines and basic version of fire traps, so it will in fact whenever it explodes there will be 7.5 seconds of fire on that area, so kinda like a half of Molotov for 7.5 seconds, because Molotovs are 15 seconds now I think. So 14 of trip mines and 14 of explosions, so that's kind of useful. Just place those close to objectives and so on. The only team aspect of this build is pretty much the trip mines and C4s. And now that after update 100 you have trip mines and C4s, you can actually open some doors in Hoxton Breakout Day 1, say, and well, pretty useful. Much better than pre-update 100. Moving on to Ghost, we have Duck and Cover Basic for a little bit faster sprinting and stamina regen. We also have Basic Park Ore for additional movement speed, but if you aren't that keen on movement speed, you could actually take these three points here and place them somewhere else, but I like the movement speed, so that's why I took this. On the Silent Killer tree is one of the pretty important things on this build. We have the specialized killing aged for more damage with silence weapons, so 15 and 15%. So that's useful because both of our weapons have a silenced barrel for more damage from here. We also have basic version of optical illusions, so enemies are less likely to target me. We also have basic version of second wind, so whenever our armor breaks we have increased movement speed, so we can get to a cover, maybe shoot from there to regain some armor, because we are using the Anarchist deck. But mainly on this build the second wind isn't really that useful, it is just to get to the second tier of skills. Also I don't think the professional skill is that useful, because it just snap zoom speed and I don't actually zoom in with these weapons. Maybe the Thanatos whenever I'm killing bulldozers, but most of the time you are using the locomotive secondary weapon, so this is quite useless, and accuracy isn't that good for shotguns, so we are not using that. Also we are running with quite a high risk, so low blow isn't really useful. It could be, but we are already killing enemies in one shot without crits, so why the hell would we waste our time on that? Then the last one, the important part of this build on the Prolo tree, we have basic version of martial arts to climb up the tree and ace version of bloodthirst, so we are pretty much really high damage with our melee weapons, so you can save your ammo, just melee one shot pretty much everything and increase your melee attacks. And then we have Berserker aced, so we have less health and we will deal more damage. And with Frenzy aced, even though it's kind of broken, most of the time I played this with only basic Frenzy, it's still good, and well, they are going to nerf it, so if you don't want to get used to it, just take the basic version. But well, you can take the aced version, it's really strong at the moment. With Berserker you start with 30% health, so you are, whenever the heist starts, you are already in Berserker mode. No need to worry about taking some damage first and so on. So that's all for the skills. On perk deck we have Anarchist, so it requires the Sydney character pack DLC. This build, I mean. So I don't know. I've been using mostly heavy ballistic vest, but ballistic vest should be fine, maybe even flak jacket. I just like the speed, even though we don't have armor that much or dodge at all. It's really good. This is more armor build than dodge because, well, as you can see, it has no dodge at all. On our weapons we have Logon motive as a secondary, we have buckshot ammunition for a little bit more extra damage, but you could actually take something like maybe fletchetes, so you can pierce shields or something like that, but I just don't think that's even necessary. We also have the suppressed barrel called Shh, because it has a little bit better stats than the silent killer suppressor, and I think it looks a little bit better. On boost we have stability, but you can choose whatever you want pretty much for the boost. On gadget we have military laser module, so we can take our aiming skills even further without aiming down sights. As a grip I took the ergo grip for a little bit more stability, and as a magazine I took the extended magazine for even more ammunition on our mag. As a sight I'm using surgeon sight. Just take whatever sight you like. I'm kinda bored of the whatever it's called, the compact hollow, so I've been using surgeon sight quite a lot. As a stock we have polish. Polish shot is stock for more stability, but you can choose pretty much whatever you want. I like, where the fuck is it? I like the polish shot stock's look, so that's mainly why I chose it. I really like the Muldon stock and how it looks, but it negates the sights on the weapon, so that's really one negative side about that stock. As an upper receiver we could actually take shell rack, yeah. Why didn't I do that before? It's more magazine size, even though that makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, 10 in a mag, that's even better than before. And the important part is the suppressor. Do remember to take the suppressor because it relies on that. As a primary we have the Thanatos weapon, we have the suppressed barrel, which makes a little less damage, but because of the skills it doesn't matter. And we have boost total ammo, so instead of 15 it will have 16. None of the boosts for Thanatos are that useful, but one extra ammo in this ammo pool is pretty useful. As a gadget I don't think I actually have anything. Maybe I could take something, but yeah, I don't actually need it. I really rarely use the Thanatos in this build. It's only for killing bulldozers, because everything else dies with one shot with the locomotive, yeah. As a grip I have rubber grip for a little bit more accuracy and stability, but you could actually take pro grip as well. It negates some of the concealment, looks a bit different, but that's fine. Also on Thanatos I have Surgeon Sight, but I could actually take something else, maybe Hollow Sight or Professional's Choice. I just like these close combat ones. I don't know, I don't want these big ass scopes on close quarters, so I've been using Surgeon's Sight most of the time. As I already said, Molotov Cocktail, because it's pretty much the best throwable in my opinion. It creates a choke point for enemies for 15 seconds. And as melee weapon, pretty much whatever you want. I've been using Ice Pick for long range, and it will knock every enemy with one shot because of the damage boosts. So maybe even Pitchfork, it's quite similar, little bit less range but same damage and so on. Whatever you want to take, yeah. As I said, we have trip mines, we have 14 trip mines and 4 shaped charges, so the C4s aren't that... We don't have that many C4s, but we have trip mines, so that's kinda useful. But nothing else on this build pretty much. I will show you some gameplay and you can see how you like this build or not. It's pretty OP. Alright, so I joined a Biker Heist Day 2 I think on public game, so let's just check however this build will run on this heist. Oh shit, we need to climb up here this time. As you can see, even now I'm one-shotting enemies pretty much every shot. If I don't hit them with good aim, then I might be able to just hurt them, but most of the time they will die. As you can see on my enhanced hit markers, there's this skull icon whenever enemy dies, and winky all over your face whenever I hit enemies, but they don't die. So most of the time they die because Frenzy is broken as hell. But that's not the case why this works. It's Berserker and... oh shit. Let's see you motherfucker here. This one is stronger than any bulldozer. Not complaining. I like some challenge. Are we taking more loot or not? I assume not. I still haven't done the 2-minute achievement on this heist. And I assume we are not able to do it this time either. We are almost able to do it, but not quite. Only 10 seconds left and still... oh shit, I forgot to reload my Thanatos. Let's just reload it here in the safe place, and well, the bulldozer is already dead. We were almost able to do this in 2 minutes, but I think it will run closer to 3 minutes or something like that. Not much. 20 seconds or less and we would have gotten the achievement. Well, that wasn't really good to show the build. Because that was so short. But anyway, with even those, I had best accuracy, highest body count and highest special body count. I will actually show you some other gameplay as well, but I won't be commentating over that. Anyways, I hope you like this build. It's really strong. If you want, go ahead and use it. Anyways, this is all for today. Master Indigo, signing out.